What's going on? Guys, back at you with another YouTube video. Let me get shout outs out of the way early. Shout out to Cartino for Life. Shout out to Kwame Brown Best Life. Shout out to my guy Scrub Zero. Shout out to my boy Welcome to HDI TV. Shout out to the best mod in all of YouTube, so I'll be loved. And shout out to my guys at Let's Talk Jets, the Hawks Nest, Seahawks Positivity. Now, I mentioned I was going to bring up my high school baseball coach last video, and this is it. This is the story of my high school baseball experience. Now, shout out to my priest, who was the assistant coach, and made sure I was on the team and part of the team. My priest is also my godfather from my first communion. God bless him. So yeah, shout out to him. But let's get into it. So, my high school head coach or manager, as they like to say in baseball, the manager of the team, was the high school biology teacher. And he was from Maine. Yeah, Maine. Maine. Now, originally, his girlfriend, who became his wife last time I checked, and my godmother was supposed to coach the softball team, and I was supposed to go back and forth from softball to baseball, but because alumni wanted to coach the softball team, they took that away from the baseball coach wife and my godmother, so I really wasn't close to the team. I was close to a couple players because I had gone to middle school with them. And I might have had a crush on one of them. Not gonna name any names because privacy and all that. I still respect them, still got love for them, and yeah. So I went to baseball and I stuck to baseball. Now, my freshman year, we absolutely sucked. And after my freshman year, my godmother left for a job at the city of Santa Monica. Shout out to the city of Santa Monica. A better paying job and less hours. So can't be mad at her. I was hurt at the time. But now that I'm all grown up, it's what it is. She's still my godmother. And I still love her. Shout out to my godmother. So my sophomore year starts. Me and my assistant, who later became my godfather, and then a priest, and then my godfather. Let me get that order right. He became a priest, then he became my godfather for my first communion. And my other assistant was my godmother. Shout out to them. always looking out for me. So, yeah, let me get that straight. He was a priest. Thankfully, there were two priests there so he could be my godfather and then ordain others for their first communions. And I think they did a couple confirmations that day. I might be wrong, but it is what it is. So shout out to them. But it was just me and my godfather slash priest for the first couple months. Of course, let me explain one more thing. He became my godfather and a priest after he stopped working with me. So don't get it confused. He wasn't a priest when he was working with me. He wasn't my godfather when he was working with me. He was just a guy I consider like a brother slash father figure. So let me clear that up real quick as well. So it was just me and him for a couple months, and then we got this weird guy with a scar on his head and a lazy eye. Apparently, he had been in a motorcycle accident or something crazy like that. So we got him, and then something crazy happened. I had my baseball coach as a biology teacher. Now, what I didn't know at the time was him and his girlfriend. At the time, now wife. Last time I checked, I haven't talked to him in 11 years. I like to keep it that way, but allegedly, I say allegedly because I don't know this for a fact, but allegedly, they would get drunk at lunch and then he would come down to the field and coach the team while being drunk. Off bottles of wine they would have during lunch. Allegedly, because I didn't see this, I don't know this for a fact, but allegedly. So one day I'm in his class, he puts on a boring video. Everyone's asleep. I'm looking around. I'm trying to wake up my godfather to tell him something. I'm on one side of my assistant who would later become my godfather. My godfather is in the middle. And the coach and slash teacher is on the other side. I'm trying to wake up I'll just call him my godfather for the rest of the video. My godfather, because I think I needed a drink or my meds or something. I needed his help with something. Don't ask what, I can't remember what at this point. This was 12, 13 years ago. So, trying to wake up, I look up, see my coach, make eye contact with him. And for some strange reason, he flips me off, gives me the bird, and I'm in shock. I'm like, what the hell is that about? Now, looking back on it, he was probably drunk and didn't realize what the hell he was doing. But if I had known that he drank during school hours at the time, I would have just dusted it off to always drunk. Leave him alone, it's nothing. But I got upset, I got hurt, I got offended, because I can't flip him off back, because if I do that, I get in trouble. So I wait a couple of days. I had a math class next to the principal's office slash assistant principal's office. Now I have tried to tell my godfather what happened, but he was asleep during the class and during the incident. He didn't see it. I'm not mad at him about it. It is what it is. It happened. It's done with. It's ancient history at this point between me and my godfather. But I tell the new other assistant, and he's like, let's go tell the principal. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to start shit. He's like, Jose, you have to stand up for yourself. I'm like, all right, but just know if we do this, I'm going to kick up a hornet's nest. And he's like, no, you're not. You're safe. Yada, yada, yada. Dude, you haven't been around, but I'm just going to listen to you because you're my assistant. And if I don't, you're probably going to tell half the school anyway. So we walk into the principal's office. The principal's coming out of his office, and I stop him and talk to him and tell him what happened. Now, some days I would go to practice, some days I wouldn't. This is a day that I didn't go to practice, and man, am I glad I wasn't there that day. Because apparently what happened was he was coaching in the batting cages. The principal comes up, tells him to come with him. My teammates don't know what's going on because I haven't told anyone on the team. I didn't tell anyone on the team until the next school year, as a matter of fact. But it is what it is. They go up. They talk to him. They ask him if it's true. He says no, because he probably didn't remember because he was probably drunk at the time. But I'm saying probably. I should be not mentioning his name, so I'll say probably. So the next day my priest comes to pick me up from my house to take me to school. He's like, why did you go to the principal? And I tell him, I didn't want to. Wasn't my idea. Was the other guy's idea. And if I didn't, he probably would have told the whole school anyway. And he's like, all right. We'll deal with this. We got this. Don't worry. Just don't stop talking to the other fool. I was like, all right. So we get to school we get to his class. It was after break. We get there early. Like right after the bell rings for second period. To let people out for break were waiting outside his door. Early, without the other guy. He's like, so we go in, he's like, why did you do what you did? I'm like, because it happened. It happened. He said, no, it didn't. I say, yes, it did. And then we go back and forth about this all day. And he's like, fine. You know what? We're just going to agree to disagree. He said, and then he asked me, he asked a couple stupid questions. He asked me, and I still remember this very question. Do you still want to be on the baseball team? I'm like, yes, I still want to be on the baseball team. Yes. Do you want me to be coach? In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, hell no, you're a shitty coach and you flip me off, but we can't get another coach because that'll be a headache. And if And if the reason comes out, I don't want it to be a shitstorm, so I just say yes. He's like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. He says, we're gonna let Sleeping Dogs lie. We're gonna pretend this never happened. We're gonna move on from this deal. I say, yes, deal. But in the back of my mind for the next 2 years, I never forgot what happened that day. I forget. I don't forget, and I don't forgive, and I still don't forgive him for doing what he did, even though I realize now he was probably drunk at the time, not realizing what the hell he was doing, because if he really wanted to slip me off for not paying attention to that damn video, he should have woken up half the class and slipped them off, because they weren't paying attention either. Nobody was paying attention to that damn video. He just put that on that damn video because he was too drunk to teach. And that's my high school baseball horror story. So yeah, that's that story. And until the next video, God first, God bless, stay safe, stay out of trouble. And until the next video, I'm out. Deuces. Make sure you listen to your kids. People, make sure you listen to your kids when they tell you something. Not that my parents didn't listen to me, because they did, they just didn't know what to do. I had already gone to the principal and did what I did, and they're like, well, what else can we do? You went to the principal, it's done. And that was the right call for them and for all of us. So with that being said, until the next video, I'm out. Deuces. Peace.